Hi guys, this is Sanya, known as Makeup by Sanya on my social media platforms. Today I'll be taking over Beauty Hook Snapchat to create a makeup look with you guys. But before that, I want to tell you guys a little bit more about myself. So I'm Sanya Shoaib. I am living in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia currently, but I am from Pakistan. I'm a student here and I'm a makeup artist as well. So make sure you guys are following me on my social media platforms, which usernames I'll be mentioning right here in the caption. And secondly, I want to thank Beauty Hook for having me here today and for having me take over their Snapchat and do makeup with you amazing people. And before getting into the makeup routine, I want to just like let this out that I know that getting original and authentic products in Pakistan is really hard, because I've spent more than half of my life in Pakistan and I know how difficult it is to find good and original makeup products in Pakistan, because there are a lot of pages on Instagram and Facebook. Some of them sell original products and some of them don't. Some of them sell fake products by telling you guys that it's original. So whenever you guys are ordering online, you guys are always like taking a big risk with your money, and that's just a big bummer, you know. So I just like want to let you guys know that Beauty Hooked is going to be launching their e-commerce soon, which means that you guys can order any original and authentic high-end brand product from them and they'll get you that, and they're gonna assure you that it's authentic and original. And I think that's just really awesome. So without further ado, let's get into the makeup routine. But before getting into it, I want to like tell you guys a little bit more about what we'll be doing. So this is like a peachy makeup look. It's like a maroonish brownish eye makeup look, and then we're gonna top it off with a peach matte lipstick. So let's get into it, guys. So first we're gonna prime our skin, and today I'll be using this FARSÁLI Unicorn Essence drops. I got them from Sephora for 240 RM, but I don't think it's that easily available in Pakistan. But you can order it online from any page you trust, or even Beauty Hooked, because they'll be launching their e-commerce online availability of products soon. So you can order it from them and they can get you this. Already got it in the dropper. Now I just applied it on my skin and so put some on your lips as well so they're moisturized. I swear this is really hard with the one hand. And I'm gonna blend this out with the brush. This is by Brush & Co. I got it from Malaysia, but they do deliver worldwide, so you can order their brushes or brush sets from their website. So the next step would be foundations, and today I'll be using this Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation in the shade Cashew, and I'll be mixing it with the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage foundation. Not because this is not full coverage, it is full coverage. It is the most full coverage foundation I've ever used, but I just usually like to mix this with almost every foundation I wear, because I don't know, because the formula of this foundation is a little thick and I don't want to like put too much, you know, a thicker layer on my skin. So I usually just mix it with this because it's a liquid formula and it just makes it, you know, a little more easier to blend and a little more lighter on the skin. I hope that makes sense. So I'm gonna put this on this and then I'm gonna mix them both together and I'm gonna put it on my face. So this is the mixture that I got out of these two foundations. Yes, it does seem less, but trust me, this foundation is full coverage and this is going to cover my entire face. So now I'm going to start applying the foundation on my face. I'm using a Real Techniques brush. I use the same one for mixing them together. I'm using the same one for applying it. See guys, so now I've literally put foundation on every part of my skin and we still have some foundation left. So now I'll show you guys the coverage this foundation gives. I'm gonna blend everything out and I'll be using this Tarte foundation blending brush. This is my favorite brush. I got it on Christmas on one of their Christmas launches. They launched a brush set, so I got it in that set. and it literally blends your foundation to perfection. So now that we have blended our foundation, you guys can see how full coverage this foundation is. Little product went a long way, and that's a really good thing. Like, this foundation is worth the price. Like, you guys pay so much for it, but then it lasts so long. You don't have to buy any other foundation in between. Next step is to conceal, and the concealer I'll be using is Maybelline Age Rewind. I literally love this concealer. Like, I only use 2 concealers and both of them are from Maybelline. One this and the other one is Maybelline Fit Me. The consistency of both of them is amazing. They last all day and the coverage is awesome. So I'm just gonna use it because this is my favorite concealer. How I apply my concealer is like, I make triangles under my eyes, and then I conceal in the middle of my nose, my forehead, my chin, and I put concealer on top of my eyelids as well. So now that I have concealer on, and other than the fact that I look like a clown, what I do is I like let the concealer rest for a second and arrange the stuff that I'll be using next, like translucent powder and everything. Just put it in front of you. The reason why I let this set is because the more time you give for concealer to set before blending it out, the more coverage it's going to give. And it's not my tip, obviously, it's like, it's Nikki Tutorial's tip. She usually does this. We're gonna blend. So some people usually prefer to like use blenders and everything above brushes, but I usually use brushes because I think they don't waste product as much as blenders do. That's my personal preference. Like, you guys can obviously use blenders or any other thing you guys want to use, for example those silicone sponges or beauty blenders or anything that you guys prefer. Next, we're gonna be using this RCMA no color powder, and we'll be setting our under eyes with it. So I just put some powder on, and I'm gonna use a mini blender or something to put this under my eye. So the blender I'm using is from Real Techniques. Do you guys see how much coverage this powder gives? Like, this is my all-time favorite powder. This and the Coty Ears one. But when I want more, like when I want to brighten my under eye a little more, so I use this because it's white in color. So that's why I'm using this today. So now I'm gonna take some and put it on my nose. Basically the places where I concealed. There. I'm gonna set it there because I wanna like brighten those areas more. Put some powder on my eyelids as well, and I'm just brushing it off so that the concealer is set, and then we can move on to more eyeshadows. So now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and the palettes I'll be using is, first it's this one. This is by Tarte Cosmetics. It's their treasure box. They launched this on Christmas. And the other one is my favorite, Huda Beauty Rose Gold Edition. Like, this palette is my favorite palette. Like, my followers know that I would choose this palette every day over any other palette. So let's get into it. Oh, and the brushes that I'll be using are from Brush & Go. This one's from BH Cosmetics, and this one right here is from Tarte. So first we're gonna use this shade, which is called Whirl. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put this all over my lid. I'm using the Tarte brush.
It's so hard doing an eyeshadow with one hand. Like, you usually do it with one hand, yes, but you have to constantly focus on the fact that the video is recording, so that makes it harder. So basically what I'm doing right now is that I took the shade and now I'm blending it in my crease. You have to make sure that there are no harsh lines and they're blended perfectly. So now that my crease is done, I'm going to move on to the next palette, which is the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade called Man Eater and I'll be putting it in my outer lid. This is the shade, and I have to you have to blend it to perfection so that it's not that harsh on the corner. So now I'm taking the product on a new brush by Brush & Co, and I'm gonna blend it. Just make sure it blends with the transition shade. Try blending it out in circular motions and take more product if you feel like taking some more. Now that the maroon shade is blended out, I'm gonna move on to the main shade for the inner corner and the lid. But before moving on, I just wanted to tell you guys that, because I forgot to tell it to you before, always make sure that you're holding your brushes somewhere from around here, and you're holding it really not so hard, so that when you're blending, it's actually blending really mildly, because the harder you hold it and the closer you hold it from the bristles, the more harsh lines it's going to create. And the next shade that I'll be taking is this angelic shade, which is actually called angelic as well, yes, and I'll be taking it with my finger and I'll be putting it on my lid. So guys, I just wanted to show you the pigment this palette has. This is a rose gold shade. Focus, yes. And I'm gonna put this on my lid. See that? So after putting it on your lid, you will have to brush the crease into this shade as well, so that it doesn't create the harsh line that it is creating right now. Now I'm gonna blend it out with the same dark brush which I used for creating the crease. See, I'm holding it from here, from the end. These are just a few small tips that you guys if you guys follow the blending. If you guys use these small little tips to blend and everything, trust me, the blending gods are going to be with you guys. Now we're gonna wing it, and I'll be using this e.l.f. eyeliner, and I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be doing that off camera because I can't do a wing with one hand. A lot of talented people can, but sorry, I am not one of them. So I'll be back with the wings. So now my wings are done and I'm so proud of them today. So now that my eyeliner is done, now we're gonna move on to our brows, and what I'll be using is this Wet n Wild brow kit. It's powder form, and I'm gonna try and do that on camera. So now I'm gonna take this darker shade and I'm gonna carve out my brows with it. I'm gonna do the same on this side. So now my brows are done. I'm gonna highlight my brow bone and the inner corner of my eyes, and I'm gonna see which shade I'm gonna use to do it. So I'm gonna be using this shade to highlight my brow bone and inner corner, and it's called Joyride, and the brush I'll be using is this. So now it's time for mascara, and I'm going to use this Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. So I always put powder under my eye for setting, and then I move my eyeshadow so that when the eyeshadows that I apply fall out, they fall out on the powder, so that when I wipe off the powder, the eyeshadows wipe away with them. First, we're gonna contour using this Blur Bronzer by Benefit. Then we're gonna bronze using Too Faced Milk Chocolate Solid Bronzer. And then we're gonna put on blush, and I'll be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Party. Contour, and I'm using this brush by Brush & Co. I always make this fish base while contouring, because you know you get that straight line when you do the fish base. That's exactly where you have to contour. Now I'm going to take this Real Techniques contour brush, and then I'm going to take Hoola again, and then I'm going to contour my non-existent jawline. Just to give the impression out that I have a jawline, and my big ass forehead. And I'm gonna use the same Brush & Go brush which I used for contouring. I'm gonna use it for contouring my nose as well. Now I'm going to take the same Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to dab it in the Too Faced Milk Chocolate Solid Bronzer. I love this bronzer, as you guys can tell, because I'm almost out of it. But I'm going to use this, and I'm going to put it on my cheeks. This step is additional. If you guys don't want to do it, don't do it. But I like to do it because first I like to create the line from Hoola, and then I like to bronze it up a little, because it doesn't give that harsh line from the previous step. Now we're gonna move on to the blush, and as I told you guys earlier, I'm gonna be using this Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Part, and I'll be using this blush brush by Brush & Co. Focus. Okay, don't. Take the blush and then blend it. I did this side already, now I'm doing this side. We're doing the blush. Take the loose powder again, and put it here. You guys can bake again if you guys want to. I double bake. And now I just wipe the powder off after a few seconds, because you don't want those actually harsh lines, you just want to give a little more coverage. Now we're gonna move on to the highlighter part, which I'll be using today is first theBalm Cosmetics The Minizer Sisters palette, and I'll be using this Mary Lou Minizer from it, and then from Tarte Hampton's Weekender palette I'll be using this shade named Beach Getaway. I'm using this Tarte highlighter brush. First I'm gonna tap in this do it on the other side as well. And then on the tip of the nose. I'm gonna take this shade and I'm gonna put it on the apple of my cheeks. I smile to get the apple of the cheeks more prominent. And then some on the cupid's bow. Now to the final step, to our peachy lipstick. I'll use this Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit lipstick in the shade, what is the shade? Nudist Peach. So this, guys, is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you guys are following me on my social media platforms. I'm gonna mention their usernames right here in the caption. And once again, I want to thank Beauty Hooked and their entire team for having me on board and for having me take over their Snapchat so that I could create this amazing makeup look with all of you. So this is me signing off. I hope I see you guys soon again. Bye.